علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا يا أكرم الأكرمين. نعم تفضل.
If I'm traveling to some other town,
نعم.
say I'm traveling to Malaysia, visiting a family there. So if I'm staying there for 3 days, for the whole 3 days, am I exempted from the salah, or can I, take advantage of the travel method? Is it allowed? If I'm staying at my home with my friend.
Yes. The brother is asking, when traveling to another country to visit friends there and staying for 3 days, can he still be considered a traveler and takes the relaxation of a traveler? Yes. As long as you are not planning to stay more than 4 days in that place. If you are planning to stay 4 days or more, then no, the moment that you reach, the relaxation of a traveler is over. But if you are staying less than that, then there is no harm. You can avail the relaxation of a traveler, and you are allowed to curtail the salah and to combine dhuhr and asr and combine maghrib and isha. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. No.
What is the distance from someone can cross the person who's praying?
In front of someone who is praying, yes. The sunnah of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that when someone is praying, he should pray to a sutra or a shield, something in front of him. You should not pray in the middle of the place or in the passage of people or something like that. You should try to pray to a wall or to a pillar or to any type of shield that you put in front of you, so that people will be able to cross from behind that shield. That is the sunnah. So if somebody does not do that, then what about passing in front of him? Is it permissible or not, and to what length? The length that you can pass in front of someone who's praying, if there is a way to avoid that, passing in front of him, this is much better, and you can go from either way. But if you have to pass in front of him, then the passage is slightly about a feet or a hand span beyond his place of sujood, above his place of sujood. So if he is praying here and this is his place of sujood, about a feet or so in front of that, and you can pass from behind that, and there is no harm, inshallah. Clear? Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Now,
if someone passes by, like I'm praying and someone passes by.
Before this distance, you mean? Yeah.
So the prayer will be invalid?
And scholars differ about the invalidity of it, but it seems that the sin is on the person who is passing in front, and it is your duty to stop him. You should try to stop him in the salah. So you have two things to do. Either put your hand in front to stop him, or move ahead so that you will be close to your shield or sutra, so that he can pass from behind, not get you. This is what you can do. Both of them are valid, and this does not invalidate the salah. So he'll take a step or two to become closer to the sutra so he can pass from behind. This is especially the case when sometimes there is no other way. There is no other way. Now, to summarize the whole possibilities of this, there could be 4 different possibilities. Now, when you are praying, either you are praying in the passage of people or away from the passage of people, and either there is a way, another way for them to pass, or there is no other way to pass. These are the possibilities. Now, if you are praying in the passage of people and there is no way, no other way to pass, then there is no sin on them from this, and there is sin on you, because you are praying, you are blocking the way for people. That's number 1. If you are not praying in the passage of people, but there is no way to pass except in front of you, then there will be no sin, neither on you nor on the person who is passing. If you are praying in the passage of the way, and there is another way to pass, and he still passed in front of you, the sin is on both of you, you and him. And if you are not praying on the passage of way, and there is another way to pass, and still he passed in front of you, the sin is on him and not on you. Those are the possibilities. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Now, تفضل شيخ. نعم. نعم شيخ. نعم. نعم.
منه من كيد الكفار.
نعم نعم
أين الثقة بالله في هذا؟
نعم.
وهل يطبق هذا الشيء على واقعنا السريع في بعض الحالات مثلا؟
نعم نعم.
هذا السؤال. السؤال الثاني في حديث
هذا لوحده راح ياخذ مننا 10 دقائق. هذا سؤال ثاني. تفضل نخلص هذا بعدين الثاني. Okay, good. The brother is asking about the khutbah before about 2 weeks, I think, back, and we spoke about some of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. We spoke about the 10 who were promised paradise by the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the brother is saying that we mentioned about Umar radiallahu anhu, that when he became a Muslim, the Muslims felt stronger, and the fear of torture and persecution from the disbeliever diminished. So the brother is asking, what about their trust and reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Does not that contradict feeling a little better when Umar radiallahu anh is there? No, this does not contradict it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned even in the Holy Quran, الآن خفف الله عنكم وعلم أن فيكم ضعفا. Sometimes you feel weaker. You are not. This is part of real life. We are human. That is why, for example, Allah Almighty ordered the Muslims, some of the Muslims, or allowed them to immigrate to Abyssinia, to Habasha, twice, and then to immigrate to Medina. So someone comes, where is the reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why don't they stay there? No. Taking causes and reasons, this is part of qadar and part of reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the beauty about Islam. It's not just theory, it's also practice. So taking the causes, this is part of the reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us about the man who came to visit the masjid of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he kept the camel outside without tying it. Like a car, open car with the keys inside. Open. All right? So when someone asked him, so about this, and he said, I am relying upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I have full trust with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you sense something wrong, or is it okay? So the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, tie it down, then rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do your part. Do your duty, then rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or at the same time rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The difference between them is what? Your heart is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The action you do what is required, but your heart is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the true reliance. That is the true form of trust with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the heart. Get the idea? So here, at that time, the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ himself was praying for the embracing of Islam by Umar radiallahu anhu. And in the seerah it is mentioned that the Messenger Muhammad ﷺ said, "O Allah Almighty, make Islam stronger with Umar radiallahu anhu." One of the Umars, one of the two Umars, two people called Umar. Make Islam stronger. That is the concept. To give Islam some form of strength. With Umar. This is what the Muslims felt, the strength. Now you are stronger. As Allah said, this is repeated in the Holy Quran. For example, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, هو الذي أيدك بنصره وبالمؤمنين. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who helped you and supported you with His victory and with the believers. Supporting to the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people. That is part of the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in real life. So the embracing of Umar radiallahu anh gave Muslims strength for sure. Gave them moral strength and actual materialistic strength. And it was emphasized also with Hamza radiallahu anh later on. And that is when they stood two lines. The first time in the seerah it is related, two lines. Umar radiallahu anh leading one line and Hamza radiallahu anh leading another line. And both of them were well known as knights. One of the mightiest knights among Quraysh, the whole tribes. They are well known. So now they are standing in two lines and saying, anyone who have a problem with us, we have embraced Islam. Anyone who has a problem, anyone who wants his mother to lose him, let him come forwards. And they know that they mean it. This is not a joke. They know about this. Umar radiallahu anhu is well known, and Hamza radiallahu anhu also well known. Hamza was one of the mightiest knights radiallahu anhu, and his nickname was actually the fighters of lions, or the captors of lions, because every while he will go and fight a lion and kill it, but only with a spear, not from far ahead. So it has to be face to face. This is how he does it. This is how he does it. And then he will take the lane of that lion that he killed, and he will hang it on his chest till he kills the next one. So immediately they know, whenever there is a new one, he has already killed another one. And it continues. This was the nickname where it came from. One of the mighty knights. So of course when they embraced Islam, two mighty heroes of Mecca embracing Islam, how does Muslims feel now? Of course they will feel stronger. So the time they were, this is not against the trust of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is part of the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with his infinite wisdom has linked between the physical causes that we have in this world and full trust and faith with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Both of them go hand in hand. That is why, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ. Prepare for them every type of strength, whatever you are able to. Why is that? You have to do your part. That is part of the help and support from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is to do your part as well. Or someone says there is no need to do anything. No need to train, no need to have an army to defend the country, no need to do anything. We will rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Does it work? No. If that happens, then you are responsible. You haven't done anything. So it does not contradict it. Hopefully the concept is clear, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Now. No, they took causes. The brother is saying that the Muslims didn't do anything in the embracing of Islam by Umar radiallahu anhu, by Hamza. No, actually they did. And part of the causes or the reasons that they did is the dua of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself. This is one of the greatest causes. He used to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make Umar embrace Islam, which he did finally. Which he did. So that is part of the causes. And at the time of weakness, what is required from you, of course, is different. The time, in the very beginning, they were minorities. They couldn't. Nobody could approach Umar radiallahu anhu to call him upon the religion. Nobody could do that. Nobody could do that. They were afraid even that he might hear them. Even his sister, in some of the narrations in the books of Sirah or books of biography, and in it when he heard the recitation in the house of his sister, and he went there and he pushed her and she was hurt, and then that is when she reminded him. She says, do whatever you like. We have embraced Islam and we are believers. And that is when he realized, when he saw the blood in the face of his sister, and he realized that he has done a mistake. So he wanted to read whatever book they have with him. And she ordered him to go and bathe and come back, which he did. And then he read, and that is when he said, guide me to the house of the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wherever they were. They were in Al-Arqam, at the edge of Mecca, hiding. It was in hiding. So he went there. And when he reached there, when they made him reach, and he knocked on the door, and they saw it was Umar, they refused to open the door. So he must have come for something bad. They knew that he wanted to kill the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they were afraid that he might do some harm to them or to the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mostly. But the Messenger of Muhammad pushed them aside, and he opened the door himself, and he took Umar radiallahu anhu, he caught him from his cloth, and he said, isn't it about time that you see the truth? And he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I came to embrace Islam. I've realized it. I came for this. And that is when Muslims were very happy with this addition, with this extra strength that they held, that relieved them from so much of the torture and punishment that they used to face from Quraysh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. So it does not contradict it. This is part of the reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the causes. Now. نعم. نعم. نعم صحيح.
الآن لو هذا الرجل يعني قدم البطاقة للرجل الفقير وأخذها، هو الآن أخذ الأسباب بحيث أنه
ما في حرج.
لا
نعم
يتعرض لمشاكل في المستقبل.
نعم
لكن فضل انه يقوي ثقته بالله من خلال الاعتماد على الله عز وجل فقط.
exactly yes.
لكن الان لو قارناها بحال المسلمين لما كانوا في التعذيب والاضطهاد
نعم.
الان انتظروا قدوم عمر او اسلام عمر؟
لا ما انتظروا، هم ماشيين في طريقهم. they did exactly as they were. Only thing is that something came which they accepted, like this man in the story that you mentioned when he took the money, not the extra later on. The example in it, in that this relieved him from an actual problem that existed. Umar radiallahu anhu, he embraced, he relieved him from the problem. Same like the poor man who took the money from the wealthy person when he offered him. Not the card for the future, that is a different story. But anyway, the trust, we'll conclude inshallah with this. There are more questions, or we'll take later on. We'll conclude one more question inshallah. Very quickly, the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the reliance upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not one level. You have so many different levels. Minimum that you can do is that you do not believe that anyone or anything can do something except that what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed. That is la ilaha illallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the minimum. Later on you can grow. For example, we'll give you just a practical example to get the idea. When the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked the Muslims to help and support, to collect charity, and some of the Sahaba came, he didn't accept from any one of them more than 1/3. 1/3 of his whole property as charity. Some of them wanted to offer more, and the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said 1/3. Maximum is 1/3. But when Umar radiallahu anh came, Umar radiallahu anh gave half of what he has, and the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted that from him. From Umar? No, he took it. Then Abu Bakr radiallahu anh came, and Abu Bakr radiallahu anh gave everything that he had, 100%. He didn't leave, even for the day. What they are going to eat tonight, he and his family, nothing. It's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so I forget it. And the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted from him. The difference of yaqeen is not one level, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Naam, brother.
Another Friday, we talked about consultation.
Yes, yes.
And then we were giving example of after consultation, they decided to pardon the people.
Yes, yes.
And then after that, you said a story that after that, Prophet Muhammad and Abu Bakr was crying.
Yes, true.
You will complete the story. So just carry this complete.
The whole story, yes. After the consultation between the Sahaba radiallahu anh and Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu anh, the opinion of Abu Bakr radiallahu anh was to pardon them and to take compensation in exchange and relieve them, release all the prisoner. Umar radiallahu anh said, I do not see the opinion of Abu Bakr radiallahu anh. As for me, I see that we give them a very direct lesson, that we are not going to stand injustice and attack from them to us anymore. So each one of us will directly apply the punishment to his relative, close relatives. So you give to me my relatives from my family, and I will apply the punishment myself. So no, this is nothing to do. We are very straightforward. That was the opinion of Umar radiallahu anh. The opinion of Abu Bakr radiallahu anh and many of the Sahaba was the other opinion, which the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam liked more, because the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as you know, he was extremely lenient and merciful. So he thought of forgiving them and pardoning them and take compensation, which was done. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam verses in the Holy Quran. The story is the next day after the revelation of this, we'll come to the verses. After the revelation says it wasn't for a prophet to take prisoners except after establishing the justice on land, after taking, eradicating the criminals, those who started this. Then later on, the prisoners will come. So it wasn't for a prophet to take prisoners until he has eradicated the criminals. He has established this. He has punished all of them. Then later on, taking then at the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive them. But he says, no, the ayah is actually in favor of which opinion? Closer to the opinion of Umar radiallahu anhu. So the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, when it was revealed, they felt sad and they were crying. Umar radiallahu anhu didn't know about this yet. But when he came and he saw them crying, so he said, what is the matter? If it is a matter of a grief, so that I will share with you. And if I can relieve you from that sadness, so that I will try my best. Tell me what it is. Then the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Almighty revealed to me the verses that are closer to your opinion. So this was the end of the story, as it is mentioned in the revelation of the Holy Quran in this verse. So as you see, we took the story as a proof of the consultation, so which the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do often and often again. So that is why the details of the rest, so that we will not be late. Usually, mashallah, the translation takes some time, and I do not want to keep the brothers late. Everybody is thinking about the lunch afterwards. So that is why usually we just take the proof, and that's it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kathiran.